Hi everyone, my name is Parashar Shah. I'm a Senior Program Manager in the Azure Machine Learning team. In this video, we will deploy a web service from the model that was created in your first experiment with Azure Machine Learning video. To get started, let us load the workspace from the configuration file and then register the model by providing a name and a path to the model. Once the model registration is successful, let us test whether the model loads properly and is able to do proper predictions. In our case, the model is loading properly and is also able to do proper predictions. So, let us go ahead and deploy it as a web service. In order to deploy the model as a web service, the first thing you need to provide is a scoring script. The scoring script loads the model and returns the result after running it. It has two components. One is an init method and the other is a run method. The init method loads the model and the run method gets invoked when you actually call the web service. Let us run the cell and create the scoring script. Next, we will specify the Python dependencies to load and run the model inside a Docker container. In this case, we will load the default dependencies for Azure Machine Learning. After having done that, let us create the configuration file for our deployment environment. Our deployment environment is serverless, and we are specifying how many CPU cores and how much memory you need. If the model size is larger, you can increase the memory size so that your container will not crash. Next, we will create the configuration file for our ACI container. Since our model is small, we are specifying 1 CPU core and 1 GB RAM. But if your model is large, you can increase the amount of memory, or if it needs more compute power, then you can increase the number of CPU cores. Let us run the cell to create our ACI configuration file. After creating the ACI configuration file, we are actually ready to do a serverless deployment. As part of this deployment, we will first create the image, register the image with the workspace, send the image to your ACI container, start the container and get the web service point. This can take a few minutes, so let us wait. Our model deployment was successful. It took a few minutes to create a web service, but now that the web service is ready, we can test it. Let us go ahead and get the URL of this web service. You can do additional configuration and even have an HTTPS endpoint. Next, we are going to send some data to this web service and see how it performs. The web service is predicting correctly, so it is working well. This was the dev test scenario. You can go ahead and deploy this image in a production environment with Azure Kubernetes cluster as well, and then call that web service from any client application. If you do not need this web service, you can clean it up by running the delete command. Thank you very much.